What's up? What's up? It's your boy Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and check out these beef short ribs, like literally smoked to perfection. My goodness. I picked these up at my local butcher, Vessel Meats, in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, but I actually picked them up at the Halifax Seaport Farmers Market, where they also have a stand. And just look at this marbling. Look at this cut of beef. It is absolutely beautiful and incredible. Oh, beef short ribs are a little difficult, but also simple. It's one of those things. Patience is key. So let's talk you through it. I'm starting off with some Baron Burton's W sauce. Using this as a binder, it's perfect for beef ribs. Then I'm going in with some Cosmos Q cow cover. This stuff is delicious on beef, and I thought it would be an absolute perfect match make in heaven for these beef ribs. So go ahead and lather on that W sauce. And it's really important. We want to make sure we cover all sides, every single side. The front, the back, the left, the right, the top, the bottom, because we want to season all those sides as well. So get your dry rub, and we're going to make sure we sprinkle it on everywhere. Now, it's a dry rub. I know it says rub, but you make sure to pet it in. Do not rub it in. That's what's important here, and we want to evenly distribute it on every single side. Like I said, the front, the back, the left, the right, the top, the bottom. That's super important with seasoning. Then we're going to throw it on the offset smoker. I'm running this around 225 to get things started. I'm going low and slow at the beginning and trying to impart that smoky flavor. Now, I'm using oak wood today. I really enjoy oak wood with beef. It's kind of like the staple of barbecue, really. But you could use many different types of wood. You know, do your research on that as you see fit. But I do recommend starting with just oak wood. It's simple. And as you can see here, I'm just letting it run low and slow. It's sat on this smoker, I don't know, probably about 8 hours total. Right here, we're about the 4 or 5 hour mark, and you can see those bones are just starting to pull out now. I got real excited once I started to see this. This is exactly what I want to see. You can also notice that bark is starting to form on there, and boy, oh boy, I'm pretty excited about that as well. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, here's about the 6 hour mark or so, and you can really see that bark is setting in. Oh, that bone pull looks immaculate. I'm really excited about this. Now, if you've never had beef short ribs, they have such a wild and beefy flavor. The bones allow a lot of juice to remain inside of the cut of meat. And as you saw at the very beginning, it already was a cut of meat with a lot of marbling, which means we're going to render down a lot of fat. This is going to be extremely juicy and flavorful. I can't wait to dig into this. It's going to be a 10 out of 10. So at this point, I don't know. I'd say we're about the 6 hour mark. And at this part, I actually took it and set it inside some tin foil. And I also put a little bit of tin foil over the top. And what that was to do was mainly just kind of soften up this bark we've developed. At this point, it's kind of hard. So we want to make sure that we soften it up and loosen it and really make it enjoyable for the person biting in. Okay, so this is just before I wrapped it in that tin foil. And boy, oh boy, look at those bones pulling out. I didn't get a backside shot before, and man, oh man, those bones are pulling perfect. Check that out. So like I said, I wrapped this in tin foil to finish it off. You could even pull it off the smoker and finish it off in the tin foil in an oven around 275 if you want. I did kick the heat up a little bit at the end of this cook. So that's an easier way if you don't want to run the smoker the entire time for you to get pretty much the same result. And this was it, guys. Like, check this out. Doesn't this look fantastic? I'm actually really excited about these beef ribs. The last time I cooked beef ribs, I didn't get this result. And so really happy with, just the turnout here. That bark is intense. And boy, oh boy, this beef is just, it's cooked perfect. I mean, look how jiggly it is, right? Like, look at that. That's jiggly like a booty right there. My goodness. I'm stoked. So I took my knife, my chef knife by the rock, slicing into this, and, be careful here. We want to make sure we're keeping that bark intact. Don't let your knife kind of ruin everything. But boy, oh boy, look at this. They say it's the best bite in barbecue. Now, personally, I actually don't believe that. I think brisket burnt ends are the best bite in barbecue, but this is definitely in the top 3 for me. I really, really, really enjoyed every single rib here. These were so good, so juicy, so succulent, so fragrant. The bark was so defined and well developed. Oh yeah, I absolutely love this. And just look how juicy these are too, eh? Look at my gloves, look at the butcher paper, all that tallow just leaking out, that rendered fat. It's just absolutely incredible. Holy guacamole. You know, I'm getting pretty excited about how good I'm getting at barbecue. I was even thinking about entering a competition this summer up here in Nova Scotia. And it's Kansas City certified, so that should be interesting, but we'll see how that goes. More info on that to come in the near future. But boy, golly, bud, look at this. Doesn't that look absolutely immaculate and delicious? Check me out, guys. If you're not liked and subscribed to this YouTube channel, I highly recommend you join my ever-growing community of home cooks. The summer's coming, and I'm going to be dropping barbecue game every week. I'm here to help you guys out. Make sure you learn how to barbecue for your significant others, your friends, your family, even better. And by golly, beef ribs are an easy way to impress absolutely everyone. Holy. I mean, I've been bragging about it here, but check out that bark. Check out that juiciness. Look at all that tallow everywhere. These are just succulent and incredible. This was a 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. What's up, what's up? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and today I smoked and braised some delicious oxtail, and it was an incredible experience. I'm new to oxtail. It's not something I grew up eating, so this was totally out of my comfort zone, and I'm really happy that I did it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Slam those buttons ASAP. Join my ever-growing community of home cooks and come along for the ride. So I picked these up at Vessel Meats. They're located in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I saw these oxtail pieces there, and I just knew I had to give it a go. I've seen many recipes where people smoke oxtail and then braise them, and it always looks absolutely delicious, tender, and they always talk about just the amount of just like beefy flavorness behind it. So today I'm using Cuso's dry rubs. I'm using dirt gravel and maple bourbon. I'm going to mix all three of these on here. I'm going to make sure to give them a good coating, as you can see. Then I'm going to get them on the offset smoker, and I have them sitting above a foil tray. That's to make sure all the juices that are going to drip out of them, that we catch them so that we can use them later when we're braising, okay? So I've got it set on my offset smoker. This part's pretty straightforward. We're going to roll it low and slow. Now today I'm using oak wood because it goes perfectly with beef. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to keep our offset smoker between about 225, 250. You can go 275, but the lower the better. We really want that Maillard reaction to happen. We want to break down that fat, those jelly juices, all that stuff. Oh, and these are just coming along perfect. So like I said, we're going to do this for about 4 to 5 hours, and that's really going to get us a great bark on there and a really nice smoky flavor. Now after about 5 hours, we're going to pull them off, and I'm going to put in a full head of garlic with them. Then I'm going to pour in about a cup and a half of beef broth, and then a cup and a half of water. And I'm going to wrap that in tin foil. And then this is up to you. You can either throw it back on the smoker, or you can just throw it in the oven. I personally find throwing it in the oven is a little easier. It's a little more controlled than an offset smoker. So I threw it in the oven at 275 for about 4 more hours, and I just let these braise, and boy oh boy, did these ever come out tender, juicy, and delicious. They're so fragrant. Oh, the bark on there just looks delicious. Like, everything about these is just pretty awesome. I'm super stoked. Like I said, I've never cooked these before, so this was an entire new experience for me, and I really enjoyed that part alone. I'm always trying to gain new, like, skills on my offset smoker, or really anything in the kitchen. Even getting better with a blender is something I want to do. But where I've never cooked oxtail before, I really took my time. I learned about it. And yeah, this was absolutely delicious. So to plate it up, I'm pretty basic, as you guys know. I did up a plate of rice with some root vegetables, and I don't really know what to tell you guys. The root vegetables dyed the rice purple. It was pretty cool. It looks pretty snazzy, eh? So like I said, I'm just plating these up on a bed of rice. Nothing complicated. We're just going to get all of them on top of there. Then we're going to put some of that braised juice all over top, and it's just going to be delicious. Oh, I can't explain to you how good my kitchen smells right now. It's just a 10 out of 10, guys. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, this broth that it's been braising in is just incredible. The garlic fragrance is just out of this world. You know, this is one of those cuts of meat that I'm sure a lot of people are kind of scared of, but if you really want to become like a barbecue expert, I highly suggest you try it out. One of the weird things about this cut of meat, though, is it has spine vertebrae in it. So if you're not comfortable eating meat off of something that is kind of in your body too, well, you might just want to shred it off the bone. But yeah, it's just such a flavorful experience. That smoky flavor was imparted perfectly, and that juicy, beefy broth was just fantastic. Anyway, I highly recommend you try out a recipe just like this. It was really fun, and if you have a smoker, this is a really cool way to surprise the people you're feeding. Oh, just a 10 out of 10. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. This was a really fun cook, and I highly suggest you do it yourself. Take care, stay safe, make sure you slam that like and subscribe button, and join my ever-growing community of home cooks, and I can't wait to show you more recipes. Have a great day. What's up, what's up? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and today I made some delicious smoky mango jerk chicken. Now, I cooked this on my Napoleon charcoal grill, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. It was juicy, flavorful, and just that jerk chicken was incredible. I love this seasoning. So come on along for the ride. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll walk you through all the steps. I'm going to be using this seasoned salt from A Spice Affair and Island Girl Foods, along with their mango jerk sauce. Oh boy, it's gonna be perfect on this chicken. So let's go ahead and check out that seasoned salt. And right away, the first thing I notice is it looks like a beach from the Caribbean. I want to go on vacation immediately when I use this. Oh my gosh, it's February here in Canada, and boy oh boy is it ever cold. So just seeing this makes me think of a warm beach and brings heat to my heart. I love that instantly. As you can see here, I'm making sure to get this seasoned salt all over this chicken. Above the skin, below the skin. I really want to make sure I get it in every nook and cranny. Then we're going to go in with some of that jerk sauce. Now, boy, oh boy, we want to get this over all the chicken. Get every nook and cranny covered. Get in there with your hands. Mix it around. Wang jangle that chicken. You know what I'm talking about. We want to make sure every nook and cranny is fully covered. Get as much of that sauce in there, under the skin, over the skin, just all about it, okay? Then we're going to fire up our Napoleon charcoal grill. As you can see here, I'm using indirect heat. I have the coals in 2 coal beds on either side, so it will be 2-zone cooking today. And we're going to just let this cook pretty straightforward. We want to make sure it gets up to 165 degrees internal. That's the major mark where we know the chicken is cooked. But as you can see, this smoky mango jerk chicken sauce is just coming on and tacking up perfectly. I'm really excited about how this is looking and smelling. My backyard is so fragrant right now. I mean, it's freezing out here. It's mid-February in Canada. But boy, oh boy, does my Napoleon charcoal grill hold that heat perfectly and allow this chicken to cook through. Man, check this out. I decided to go on with an extra layer of that jerk chicken sauce because you know me, I'm Saucy Rossy. Got to live up to that brand, right? No, but in all seriousness, this stuff is so flavorful and just delicious that I thought, hey, let's add an extra coat on there and really bring ourselves to Flavor Town, if you know what I mean. Now, be generous. Don't hesitate here. This stuff packs flavor, and the more you add, the better it's gonna be. So again, we're just gonna play that patience game and check back on it in a few minutes, and you can see it's tacking up perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted my jerk chicken to look like. I'm pretty stoked on this one. You know, as just a random white guy from Canada, jerk chicken is super new to me, but it's one of those flavorful barbecue dishes that I think absolutely everyone should experience. You'd be silly to skip out on this dish. I mean, check it out. I pulled it off the barbecue. We got that nice char on there, but check out that red hue as well. If you're regular on my channel, you know how I feel about barbecue food that has that perfect red hue, and I'm putting this in that basket. I'm super stoked about how fantastic this looks and smells. I mean, as I'm just cutting into this chicken, it's juicy, it looks packed with flavor. I took a little bite, I won't lie, and it was deadly. The skin, was so flavorful. And that seasoned salt, well, that kicked right into that chicken breast. And boy, oh boy, was it unbelievable. Nice and juicy, tender, just delicious in every way, shape, and form. Super, super, super happy I came across this product by Island Girl Foods. If you're in Canada, I strongly suggest you check out their products. They're all Canadian made. They do a great job just representing what Canada's all about. And look at this. You can have barbecue chicken that comes out looking this fantastic. So like I said, check out Island Girl Foods. Check out A Spice Affair as well. They have great seasonings. And just enjoy yourself. Go out, barbecue. Make sure you're cooking food for loved ones. And you know what? Share jerk chicken. Trust me, everyone will be happy that you did it. And again, remember, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm always trying to grow my community of home cooks that are just learning to cook together. And as you can see here, I plated up dinner for both my wife and myself. Obviously, she's a little more civilized, but whatever. Don't judge me. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you slam that like and subscribe button. Take care and stay safe. What's up, what's up? It's your boy Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, here to show you how simple it is to use delicious ingredients to get some immaculate barbecue. Like always, make sure you slam that like and subscribe button. Come on along for the ride. Today's a little special treat for me. I finally got to try out one of the dry rubs I have been dying to try out. It is Perpetual Pork by Rollin' Bones Barbecue, and this stuff did not disappoint. I'm going to walk you through two cooks here. One is the pork shoulder that I showed a moment ago and then shredded into pulled pork, and the second are these two pork side ribs. Holy guacamole. Perpetual Pork was perfect for both of these. I really enjoyed this seasoning. It was fantastic. You know me, I love when a seasoning has a nice red hue, and that is the definition of this dry rub. I mean, you can just see it right here. Isn't that beautiful? You can see those little pieces of pepper in there. There's some salt, and then the other seasonings. To be completely open with you, I have no idea what the seasonings are in here, but the blend is absolutely fantastic. So make sure you check out Rollin' Bones Barbecue if you haven't before. That guy is a genius and is constantly giving back game to the barbecue community. He's dropping like spreadsheets for you to calculate all the amounts of ingredients for your sausage links. He'll show you how to do pork shoulder, brisket, all that. So highly recommend you check out his channel here on YouTube. But for now, just watch. I'm lightly applying this dry rub everywhere. It's a rub, but remember, you pet it in. You do not rub a dry rub. You got to make sure everything is evenly coated. And as you can see here, I got this pork shoulder covered all nooks and crannies. That's really important. You want to make sure you're getting the sides when you're applying a seasoning as well. Super, super, super important to make sure you're getting bark everywhere, which is going to build that flavor. Now, as you can see, as this cooks, the fat is starting to render just a little bit, and it's kind of like creating that separation there. Don't worry, that's perfectly fine, nothing to worry about. We just want to make sure we're rolling it low and slow. So today, I'm cooking this between about 225 and 250 for the pork shoulder, and about 275 for these ribs. You know, they're not the same cook. I am showing you two different cooks here, so they aren't exactly the same, but both are low and slow in that 225 to 275 range. Now for the pork shoulder, I always start it a bit lower to catch a little more smoky flavor, but pork shoulders are super resilient. They can take up to like 325 easily. So what I'm going to do is over time, I'm going to gradually increase the temperature of the pork shoulder cook up to about 325. But like I said, I started it low and slow at about 225 and let that roll for a few hours. Really not trying to put too much high heat on this at the beginning. And, you know, depending on the type of barbecue you're using for this, if you're using like direct heat coals and stuff, you can even like make it flip the fat cap down so that the fat's dripping down into the coals. You'll get a charbroil on it. Oh yeah, there's so many different techniques you can use here. But the main thing I'd really like to point out right now is how gorgeous these cuts of meat look. That red hue is imparting perfectly. Absolutely love the look and style of this dry rub. As time goes on, this pork shoulder is looking better and better. I'm getting pretty stoked, guys. Now the label says here that it has salt, brown sugar, white sugar, black pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, spices, but chipotle chili. And I have a feeling that chipotle chili is what's giving this that gorgeous red hue. Oh, I think these ribs look immaculate and that pork shoulder looks immaculate. Now, if you're not familiar with Rollin' Bones Barbecue, their founder, a competition barbecue judge, crafted this rub to basically be everything pork needs. It is just perfect on butts and ribs is what the bottle says. So that's why I tried it on a butt and a rib. I wanted to put it to the test, right? If it's saying that it's delicious, well, it better be. And frankly, guys, it is. I loved every moment of this, and I can't wait to continue cooking with it. I know I kind of sound like a fanboy right now. Actually, I guess I am. Shit. Yeah, no, I'm totally a fanboy of Rollin' Bones right now. This is absolutely a fantastic product. And one thing I really want to emphasize is when you're watching these guys that have huge, like 100-gallon offset smokers that have, you know, $20,000 barbecues and they're just killing it making these insane cooks, just know that you do not need a barbecue that expensive to get the exact same cook. You're looking at my Dynaglow Signature Series offset smoker right now. I think this was $600 on Amazon.ca, which means it was probably like $400 on Amazon.com. So I want to be very clear here. If you want immaculate barbecue, you do not need one of those giant machines, one of those giant offset smokers. You don't need a full rig, a full pit. You can do these kind of cooks in your backyard just like me. Oh boy. I absolutely love it when barbecue is coming out perfect. Now, I'm using oak wood for both of these cooks. Pretty straightforward stuff. And yeah, and like I was saying before, I'm trying to keep it between 225 and 275 for most of the cook. Now, the end of the cook, I did bump it up to 325 for this pork shoulder, like I said there. And we got to give it the old high school test, make sure the finger drips in there easily. And as you can see, all that fat rendered out into this tin foil. I didn't actually show this part, but I wrapped it up in this tin foil container here. And we're going to go ahead and just get this all sliced up. You know, take your time. Try not to make too much of a mess. We got a lot of meat in this container, so I was going slow there, ripping it all up. But check out this pulled pork. There's that smoke ring there. The bark is imparted and just mixed in. Like, it's gorgeous. When I make nachos, when I make tacos, when I make a pulled pork sandwich, when I make pulled pork poutine, holy guacamole. This is exactly the kind of ingredient I want to add. This pulled pork turned out fantastic, and it was absolutely delicious. I actually smoked a second pulled pork shoulder this week and just like went to town on it. I probably gained 20 pounds this week. My lifting. But yeah, check out this pulled pork. That Perpetual Pork was perfect for this pork shoulder. I'm really happy that I used it. Now let's get a little bit closer of a look at these ribs. I smoked these for total 6 hours. At the 4-hour mark, I wrapped them in tinfoil with a little bit of butter, some more of the Perpetual Pork dry rub, and boy oh boy, a little bit of Wabanaki maple syrup, and these things were immaculate as well. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, stay safe. Make sure you like and subscribe and join my ever-growing community of home cooks. Love y'all. What's up, what's up? It's Saucy Rossy, and I made this absolutely delicious, tantalizing, indulgent rack of ribs. Oh, holy cow. Let's go ahead and slam that like and subscribe button because you're definitely not going to want to miss out on this one. Oh, starting off, I used a Spice Affair and Island Girl Foods barbecue spice rub. I've been really enjoying this rub. I love the packaging. Really enjoy the lady on it. Just a gorgeous barbecue spice rub. Can't get enough of this. Look at this stuff. It just it reminds me of like a sand on a nice beach or something. Oof, holy. So I got my ribs ready to go. They're St. Louis cut. I've already prepared them. If you need to know how to do that, you can go check out one of my many videos on how to cook ribs. I'm doing that pretty regularly. But one thing I will always show is making sure when you're applying a spice rub, you get all sides and you pet in the dry rub. That's really important. You don't want to like rub it in. That will just move it off. You want to pet it. So get all the sides. As you can see right here, I'm pushing in each of the sides, getting everything seasoned up completely. We want every single bite here to be absolutely delicious and barbecue bliss. So I'm rolling my offset smoker today. I don't have anything else on there, just the 2 rack of ribs. And I'm using oak wood. Now I'm rolling it low and slow. We're at about 225, 250. Personally, I find when you run your offset smoker lower and slower, the smoke flavor and smoke ring imparts a little bit better into that meat. And that's what we're looking for today, to really build that, layer of flavor here. That oak wood pairs perfectly with pork. You could also use maple wood or apple wood. There are other woods as well, like cherry wood, that also work with pork. It's really up to you, but oak is the tried and true. You always hear people in Texas going on about oak, but this ain't Texas. This is Atlantic Canada, and we're smoking some absolutely delicious racks of ribs out here. So the plan for smoking these is I smoke them for 4 hours, just spritzing them every half hour or so with some apple cider vinegar. We don't want them to dry out, but it's also important that we don't soak them. Now at the 4-hour mark, we're going to wrap them in tinfoil and fully cover them. They're open right now, what you're seeing. We have them fully covered at the 4-hour mark. And I put in some sticks of butter, not too much, along with some more of the dry rub and just a little bit of barbecue sauce to get things started off. Then after 1 hour, so this will be 5 hours into the cook, we're going to open up that tin foil and let them just bathe sitting there in those juices, in that butter, in that barbecue sauce. And it is just going to build the most delicious rack of ribs. This is going to catch that smoky flavor. It's going to get that fall off the bone pull. Just, 10 out of 10. Now, if you're wondering where I got that absolutely delicious color on these ribs, I'm using Sweet Guava Barbecue Sauce by Island Girl Foods, and it's adding in a beautiful layer of barbecue sauce. Just look at that. I think it looks so appealing. Love that dark red hue. This is exactly what I want to see. So we're just hitting the 6-hour mark, and these ribs are ready to go. You can see there the bones poking out of that right side rib. Man, oh man, I can't wait to eat. These are going to be absolutely delicious. I'm looking for a nice smoke ring on there, but I don't want the meat to fall directly off the bone. If I had to describe it to you, I want to be able to hold the bone while I'm talking to you, kind of using my rib to exaggerate what we're talking about. And as you can see there, look at that bone pull. Isn't that insane? I want to be able to hold it up, talk about something, have none of the meat fall off, but the second I bite into it, the second I pull it away from that bone, it's just going to fall off. So let's check the result here. Did I get a smoke ring, and is it going to release easily? Now, I'm using my Heritage The Rock chef knife
to cut into these. I find it's just a really good knife for that. So, holy cow. Yeah, this has a smoke ring. It's exactly what I wanted. So I'm trying to like shake it to see if it's going to fall off the bone. No, but the second I pull it away, it just removes itself from the bone. Like, these are absolutely delicious. Look at that definition on that smoke ring. I apologize about how ooey gooey and sticky my fingers are, but this barbecue sauce, that guava barbecue sauce by Island Girl Foods, holy, talk about sticky, icky deliciousness. Barbecue bliss. Oh my gosh, look at that smoke ring. Holy cow. Look at this rack of ribs. It turned out literally perfect. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you check out Island Girl Foods' many wonderful barbecue sauces. They're pretty badass. And thanks again. Like and subscribe. Take care and stay safe. What's up, what's up? It's your boy Saucy Rossy. Look at that hot honey drizzle over these cherry drumsticks. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to dive into this. It's going to be absolutely delectable. Come on along for the ride. I'll walk you through everything. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. You know what to do. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think. All that kind of stuff, right? So I finally got my hands on some Heath Ryle's dry rubs. I only got 2 of them, the cherry dry rub and the it's like the butter, the garlic butter one. So I'm just trying out the cherry rub today. Pretty stoked about that. This stuff looks and smells delicious. So like always, I gave my drumsticks a full coating. Now, when you're applying a dry rub, you really want to make sure you get things fully coated. With drumsticks, remember, there's skin. So if you're not going to be eating the skin, you want to make sure you get that dry rub underneath. Now, me specifically, I really enjoy drumstick skin. Same with chicken wings. I don't know why. Just a nice crispy skin is just fantastic, right? And the kettle grill with that charcoal, which we'll be doing here shortly, that's the perfect way to get crispy chicken skin every time. I absolutely love it, and it's just a 10 out of 10. So now that these are nicely coated with that dry rub, as you can see, it's fully on there. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of let them sit. We're gonna let them, just marinate with the dry rub for, I don't know, you can go 30 minutes to a couple hours really if you want. I probably waited about an hour or so in the fridge, and boy oh boy did it ever make sense. Now, I don't know what I'm supposed to call this wire rack thing, so for the sake of this video, we'll just call it the Dangletron 6000. And this Dangletron 6000 I picked up at Princess Auto. Now, if you don't realize it, Princess Auto has an outdoor section which contains barbecue supplies. This rack, I think, was $3. Like, how do you get a better deal than that? I picked it up. I was thrilled. I also got something that lets me like hold racks of ribs on their side. I think that was $5. So just throwing it out there, if you're Canadian and have access to Princess Auto, I highly suggest you go check out their barbecue section because you're going to be blown away at their extremely cheap prices. I know I was. Anyway, I'm firing this up with Royal Oak Lump Charcoal because Heath Ryle's is sponsored by Royal Oak, and I thought I'd keep this authentic as possible, right? I really want to do justice to these. And as you can see, I'm using my Napoleon kettle grill. I'm using 2-zone cooking. I've got my trays on either side with an open zone down the center. Now what this is going to do is, in my kettle grill, it's going to create an absolute tornado of heat with that convection oven style of cooking. And that's exactly what we're looking for here. We want to just let it sit and check on it regularly. I'm also making sure to rotate the lid 180 degrees about every 10 minutes or so. That's helping the heat escape from different parts and allowing, the chicken to fully cook through. Oh boy, I'm really excited about this. This looks absolutely delicious, and every time I'm pulling this lid off, it just smells incredible. Check out that lump charcoal too with that nice glow. Royal Oak's fantastic lump charcoal if you've never used it before. So to finish these off, I'm going to use the Halifax Honey Company's Stingin' Hot Honey. I think this is the perfect pairing for chicken every time. If you've never tried it before and you are in Atlantic Canada, honestly, if you're anywhere, I highly suggest you check out the Halifax Hot Honey's products. They are just a 10 out of 10 every time. And this is what I had. These drumsticks with this cherry dry rub and this hot honey glaze, really simple to make, very straightforward, but delicious barbecue. So thanks for watching. Make sure you try this recipe out yourself. Let me know if you do in the comments below. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to like and subscribe. What's up, everybody? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and I made this absolutely delicious pulled pork. It was a bit spicy, too, so stay around. I'll walk you through the entire process. This is really easy barbecue, probably one of the easiest things you can cook low and slow, so I'll show you what I did. I picked up this delicious Boston butt. It was fantastic. McDougall Meadows is a local farm in Nova Scotia. They go to my local farmers market every weekend, and I picked this up there. It's a Boston butt cut. It's actually technically the shoulder, but they call it a Boston butt. And these are the other two products I'm using. So there's the Halifax Honey Company's Stingin' Hot Seasoning, and I'm also using Rudy's Authentic Hot Sauce's Sweet Cherry Bomb. Now, it's not too hot. It's more of like a sweet hot sauce. I'm just using it as a binder. So I start off, I pet the pork shoulder or Boston butt completely dry, and then I take that hot sauce and I make sure to rub every single side. I'm trying to make sure it gets fully coated. We're using this mainly to grab the dry rub and really hold it on there and help it stick. So this is the dry rub that I'm using. It's the Stingin' Hot Chili Dry Rub by the Halifax Honey Company, and it's super spicy. They mark it as a 3.5 out of 5. But man, I don't know whether it was me just putting way too much on or not, but it's definitely like a 4 or a 4.5 because this stuff brought heat. It was delicious. I really liked it as a dry rub. You'll see here shortly as I smoke this, like it just brings this really nice hue to the actual the piece of pork. It's pretty gorgeous. So I made sure to just move around the pork shoulder and fully coat it, and then I hit it with some extra salt and pepper. Salt and pepper helps you build a bark when you're going low and slow on a smoker, so always recommend that. And when I'm saying low and slow, if you bring it back there and check out my thermometer, I'm just above 225. I have a nice little tinfoil pan underneath, and I'm letting this smoke slowly and low. Now, over time, it's going to drip into that pan. You can see there's just a little bit down there, but we're going to let that happen the entire time. Now, look at this bark we're building up. It's nothing too intense, but it's just so beautiful. That red hue, oh, I absolutely love it when my barbecue looks this fantastic. I don't know, it just, frig, it looks awesome. So as I keep cooking it on and on, it gets more and more of like a bark and a crust building up. That's that salt and pepper along with that stinging hot chili dry rub from the Halifax Honey Company. And I'm just cooking this along. So this took about 8 or 9 hours on here, low and slow. Again, you know, I kept it around 225, 250 almost the entire way through. Very basic, very simple, you know, kept it steady. That's what's important. As well, I used oak wood with this. Now, I could have used maple or apple wood as well, but that's just a personal preference. I've been using oak a lot lately. So after about 8 hours or so, I hit it with a ton of red onion, garlic, and this delicious barbecue sauce. It's a Carolina barbecue sauce by Earl Signature Sauces. Now, if you're wondering what all these sauces are about and whatnot, they're all local to one of the same farmers markets here in Halifax. There's actually 2 of them. They're right next to each other. One's the Seaport Farmers Market and then the Old Brewery Market. So if you're in Halifax at all, I highly recommend on the weekend you go check out either of these farmers markets. They have fantastic vendors and lots of great products. And so as you can see here, as I'm shredding this up, I just need to make sure that I find all the pieces of string and just rip it apart, right? Just look at this pulled pork. It's just glistening. It has a nice little smoke ring on some of the pieces in there, but I got my gloves on and I'm just kind of churning it through, making sure just to rip everything apart. And you can see there, that was just a little piece of garlic that I came across. My lifting, that looked delicious. Anyway,
If you have a smoker, I highly recommend you try making pulled pork. It is easily one of the simplest things to do on a barbecue. There really is nothing to it. Just like there's nothing to slamming that subscribe button and that like button. I highly suggest you join my community of cooks that are learning together. We're all trying to become better home cooks. I'm always dropping new recipes, usually multiple a week, and I'm just trying to help people out. You know, the winter is finishing up here, and I am here to show you what's up when it comes to barbecue. I'm not here to show you any of that gimmicky stuff. I want to show you simple recipes you can do at home that are super easy and attainable, that come out with delicious food everyone's going to be loving. So like I said, like, subscribe. Thanks a bunch for watching. Take care and stay safe. Have a great day. What's up, what's up? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and check out this barbecue maple habanero chicken that I smoked on my Oklahoma Joe barrel Bronco smoker. Holy, this was delicious. I hung this thing right above the coals so all the juices would drip down and just charbroil it. It was fantastic. I used this incredible barbecue seasoning by Island Girl Foods and A Spice Affair, and this delicious barbecue sauce. It's maple habanero by Island Girl Foods as well. I highly recommend you check their products out because boy oh boy, look at this chicken. That's what the result is when you use either of these spices or sauces. Just fantastic barbecue. So let's start off and get ourselves a spatchcock chicken and pat it dry. We're going to go into that spice rub here and just look at that blend. It looks so beautiful. Oh, I love it. It just smells so fragrant and delicious. It really speaks to my kind of cooking. I love dry rubs like this, so I really tried to make sure I seasoned this chicken properly with it. As you can see here, I'm making sure to get that rub underneath the skin, trying to get in every nook and cranny. Then I'll go over the top as well as underneath. Again, I'm trying to get every nook and cranny. I don't want to leave any part of this chicken unseasoned. I really think it's okay to get a lot of seasoning on there. Even on those wings, we want to make sure they're properly seasoned. That's super important here. All the edges, everything, under the skin, over the skin, all of it. Then we're going to go ahead and get our meat hooks. Now the Oklahoma Joe Bronco barrel smoker is kind of unique. It allows me to hang my meat and charbroil it. And what I mean by that is the juices from this chicken are going to drip down into those charcoals, and that greasiness is going to kind of like shoot up flames and like allow the fire to kind of kiss this chicken, if you will. It's going to be absolutely delicious and fantastic. Now, as you can see, I'm slotting those hooks in through kind of like the rib cage into the breastbone, in through the breast meat and the ribs, so that it has a more secure place to hang. Now this is how I have my Bronco barrel smoker set up. I've got little chunks of hickory wood in there, and right now I'm just getting things going, so I only poured in a small batch of lit charcoals there, and I have all the vents open wide up, and I have my little hook rod there where I'm going to hang the chicken. So let's let this get up to temp. We've only just lit it. We're looking for about 275, 300, and we're just about there. And so let's go ahead and get that chicken on. And as you can see, it's hanging above the coals, just like I said. Now those coals, they're really starting to catch here. You can see that coal bed, really, look at that. Oh man, that's like the fires of friggin' Mordor in there. Heck yeah. And so as this cooks, it's gonna kind of like release down into there, and like I said, it's gonna kiss up and kind of charbroil that chicken. And as you can see, this is just coming along and looking fantastic. As I'm showing you here, you can see that hickory wood igniting underneath. Now, because I have the vent open, the entire lid open, that's why you see the flames that high, but normally it's spitting off some delicious smoke for this chicken to pick up. Now, I really enjoy hickory wood with chicken. It's just something about it. You know, you can use many different types of wood with chicken, but if you don't know or haven't really tried much chicken yet, go with hickory.
I highly recommend it. So as you can see here, we're about, I don't know, 80% of the way through the cook. I have a meat thermometer there, and I'm looking for that internal temperature of 165. And right now, we're at about 140. So I decided to start coating on multiple layers of this sauce. I'm probably going for about 2 layers. You could go up to 3. But where it is habanero, I don't want to kind of blow my taste buds off and, blow this booty, as they say. So we have this chicken hanging. The sauce is there. It's dripping. We have the juices from the chicken dripping. This is what it turns into. Doesn't that just look like one handsome bird hanging out? Oh, man. I love this. This is just such a delicious cook, and it smells so fragrant. Now, I really, really am enjoying these Island Girl Foods seasonings and sauces. Both Island Girl Foods and A Spice Affair, who makes those seasonings in collaboration with Island Girl Foods. They're Canadian businesses, and I'm just really excited about that right now. I'm trying my best to support local, and by supporting a Canadian business, it doesn't need to be local to my direct province. It can be anywhere in Canada. And heck yeah, look at that red hue on this chicken. Holy cow. I am thrilled that I supported this local business because it's clearly upping my barbecue game. Holy guacamole. This chicken smells, looks, and just is, well, I was going to say smells delicious and looks incredible, but I'm just fumbling for words right now looking at it. Holy cow. This is such a simple cook. You just let it hang out. Literally. The meat hooks just keep it there above the coals. Now, the main thing here is we hit that 165 internal. With barbecue chicken, though, you can actually go past 165. Some people actually bring it up to like 180, 190. So that's just a super simple bite off the bone. Preferably myself, I like it closer to 165. But hey, it's personal preference when it comes to food. I don't care if you want your steak rare or well done. Just enjoy it. That's what matters at the end of the day. Like, I'm really enjoying these sauces and rubs. Holy cow. Look at this barbecue. You know, whenever I'm talking about barbecue, I always get excited when there's a red hue. It just, I instantly know this is going to be delicious. And you know me, I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so I plated this up. Did some delicious corn with a little bit of garlic inside of it. Some fantastic buttery mashed potatoes. Oh boy. I really enjoyed this meal. My wife and I both plated it up. Just devoured this chicken. Devoured this sides. The potato and corn was fantastic as well. Just a really enjoyable meal. Sparkling with this delicious barbecue sauce and dry rub. So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by my channel. It means a lot to me. I love sharing these recipes with you guys. If you're not a part of my community already, make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. I'm constantly dropping new recipes, trying out new sauces, just trying to expand my ability as a home cook. And I want to take you along with me. So, come on along for the ride, subscribe, take care, stay safe, and enjoy yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and I made these delicious ribs dedicated to New Brunswick. It's a province directly next to where I live, Nova Scotia, and we're all Atlantic together, so I really wanted to just try my best to pay homage to the wonderful province of New Brunswick. So check this out. I got these 2 racks of ribs, and I decided to throw on smoked peach by Spicy Boys Hot Sauce. This stuff is fantastic. And I'm going to start with this as a binder. Now, I'm making sure just to apply a, normal amount, nothing too crazy, to the bottom of these ribs and the top. And now what a binder is it's something that allows your dry rub to kind of adhere to and stick on a little bit better. Now, like I said, you're going to make sure we do this on the top and bottom, and make sure you don't go overboard. You want to just have enough to kind of just lightly coat it like this. And you want to rub it all around. You want to get every single side of those racks of ribs. That's really important here. Next, we're going to find ourselves a spice rub. So the Royal Nova Company has barbecue spice, I think is how I pronounce it. But it's absolutely delicious. And it's a play on Quispam Sis. It's a part of New Brunswick. It's on the southern border, and it's absolutely beautiful there. And that's where Royal Nova Company is located. Now, Spicy Boys, they're located in Fredericton. So using these spices and hot sauces together, and along with a barbecue sauce from Royal Nova Company, I made these unbelievable ribs. Now, you're probably wondering how I'm smoking them. As you can see here, I am using my offset smoker. I do have a water pan in there as well to release extra moisture, but I'm still making sure to regularly spritz these ribs with apple cider vinegar as often as I think is necessary, and that's usually between 30 minutes and 45 minutes rotating. So, if they look dry, then I'll give them a spritz. If not, I'll just wait an extra 15 until they start looking like they're getting a little dry, and then I'll hit them with another spritz there. But that's what's important, regularly spritzing during this cook. As well, one thing I didn't really think would be as much of a deal here would be the fat rendering off. You can see there on the right-hand side, that rack of ribs has a lot of extra fat on there, but it's rendering off, and it was still absolutely delicious. Nothing to worry about. So I did mention I'm using a barbecue sauce by Royal Nova Company. It's sweet with a little heat, and man, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. I like a little bit of heat in my barbecue sauce, so that's why I'm actually going to add some extra Spicy Boys smoked peach to this, because I don't want it to be sweet with a little heat. I want it to be sweet with a lot of heat. So what I'm doing here at the 4-hour mark into this cook is I'm just preparing the sauce along with a little bit of butter in some tin foil. And I'm going to wrap these ribs up in the tin foil, and I'm going to put them back on the smoker and let them sit for a full hour in the tin foil, basically braising and just cooking more and more. And oh boy, after that, we're at the 5-hour mark. We pull them out of the tin foil and throw them back onto the offset smoker. And you can see here, that barbecue sauce is tacked on. It's just melted down with that butter, and it looks incredible. I can't wait to just cook this down. I'm going for a total of 6 hours here. So I took a little bit more of the barbecue sauce, mixed it with the hot sauce again, and then lathered it on with one final layer, letting it get that sticky, icky, ooey gooey barbecue perfection. And check this out. Like, man, oh man, this just looks incredible. Shout out to that rack of beef ribs as well there on the left. But like I said, these racks of ribs are just me paying homage to New Brunswick. Like, New Brunswick is a beautiful province. If you've never been, make sure you try and go there someday. And I highly recommend you check out many of the wonderful businesses from there. Royal Nova Company and Spicy Boys are just some simple examples of the wonderful companies that exist in New Brunswick. Not even barbecue related. There's so many great local businesses there that I highly recommend you just go check it out. And this is the result. After 6 hours of smoking, just bliss, barbecue perfection. Check that out. Nice little bone pull, a perfect bark on the outside, some barbecue sauce to bring that heat. It's just going to be a 10 out of 10. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. That really helps. Comment below if you enjoy New Brunswick ribs, or if you think you're going to try this. Take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful day. Love you lots.
What's up? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and earlier this week I smoked a chicken with a beer can inside of it. I guess it's a beer can chicken, and it was absolutely delicious. And I made some nachos with the leftovers, and boy oh boy, was that ever spectacular. So I thought I'd share it with you because it was so simple. This simple 3-minute video from start to finish will show you how to make perfect nachos. So make sure you like and subscribe and come on along for the ride. I'm starting off by using some Casa Bonita corn chips. I really enjoy those. I think they're perfect for nachos. I'm using a red pepper, a tomato, some shallots. They're all diced up. I also have pickled jalapenos on there, as well as that chicken that I mentioned. Now, you will be able to see the entire cooking process of that chicken in an upcoming video, but I haven't finished editing it yet. So make sure you like and subscribe and stick around, because that one is coming soon. And then we're going to continue on here. After that chicken, we're going to go ahead and layer on a nice good layering of cheese. That's always important with nachos. As well, layers. Second layer, again, we're putting putting on more of those peppers. That can be any type of bell pepper you want, green, red, orange, yellow, or really any type of pepper. If you want more heat, you could substitute it for something spicy. Then again, we're going to throw on a tomato. Now, I drained most of the juice off of this tomato after I sliced it up. The pickled jalapenos are just a nice little accent as well. More shallots, more of that chicken, and then we're going to finally coat it with some more cheese. Now, this is Tex-Mex cheese. I highly recommend you use something in this vein, but really any cheese that you prefer on your nachos is perfectly fine. But this right here is the actual secret weapon. It's yellow cheese and chipotle queso by Casa Bonita, and I love adding this on top of my nachos. And then along with some Rudy's Authentic Sweet Cherry Bomb. This is a hot sauce, but it's extraordinarily mild, so you get a nice little kick, but it's an easy ride. I'm not trying to blow my brains out here, so I really enjoy the addition of this hot sauce in this recipe. Then all you have to do is throw your oven on 325. Throw it in for, 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven. Just check it out. Once all that cheese is melted down, you're good to go. And by golly, I was absolutely astonished by how delicious these nachos were. Oh, I had a fire-roasted chipotle salsa that I ate them with by Casa Bonita as well, and it was absolutely outstanding. So, if you like nachos, you should try this out yourself. I highly recommend it. Super simple, easy to make, and absolutely delicious. Make sure you're liked and subscribed for more content just like this, and thanks again for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Take care. What's up, It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and today I used my Oklahoma Joe Bronco barrel smoker to make some delicious pulled pork. Now, I used barbecue seasoning by Island Girl Foods and A Spice Affair. It's a collaboration. I really enjoy Island Girl Foods barbecue spice rub along with their guava barbecue sauce. And that's what I'm going to be mixing in with the pulled pork today. So, come on along for the ride. Make sure you like and subscribe. Join my ever-growing community of home cooks. You're really going to enjoy this. Nice, quick cook. Okay, so we got a pork shoulder here. It's nothing special, pretty run-of-the-mill. We're taking our dry rub by Island Girl Foods, and we're making sure we cover every single side. I want you to get every nook and cranny covered. That's super important here. Get as much seasoning on there as you can. With pulled pork, you only have the exterior of the pork shoulder to actually get that seasoning on there. So every single morsel and chance we can to add more flavor, we're going to take it. We're going to go that extra mile and make sure we get every single nook and cranny covered. Super important here. I want to make sure I get as much seasoning on there because this is just going to sit on the Bronco barrel smoker. We're really not doing much here, people. Now, at the very bottom of your Bronco barrel smoker, there's going to be a charcoal basket. Today, I'm using Kingsford charcoal, and I'm simply filling that up. I'm kind of, putting it in a nice circular pattern along the bottom. I'm not just throwing it all in there, but check it out. As I light it up, you can see here, this has been on for about 3 hours at this point, and we're building a wonderful bark. There's nothing too crazy here. If you really need an in-depth tutorial on how to make pulled pork, well, you can watch any of my other videos where I, take 15 minutes to fully explain it to you, how I cook it all that kind of stuff, right? Now, I like to just put in a bunch of liquid with it and wrap it in tin foil once it's formed a really good bark on there, along with some onions and garlic. But I don't actually shred it with the onions and garlic this time. I decided to leave that out because I really wanted that essence of pork to come through and just let this guava barbecue sauce make its magic work. Just check this out. So as I pour on that barbecue sauce, what I really want to see is like a nice hue added on there, like a purple, dark purple, brownish hue added from the barbecue sauce. Oh, and it's coming along, but I really enjoy the flavor profile of guava, so I go in for another little spritz. This is just fantastic. Now, my plan with this is to make some pizza. I'm probably going to make some nachos as well, but if I don't make nachos, I'm planning on making some stuffed
jalapeno peppers with it. I think that'd be really good smoked. So again, I'm using guava barbecue sauce by Island Grill Foods. It's absolutely delicious, and pretty psyched on how this pulled pork turned out too. The Bronco barrel smoker, that thing's pretty reliable. So if you want to see more cooks like this, way more in depth, go check it out on my channel. I have a ton of them. Make sure you like and subscribe and join my ever-growing community of home cooks. And thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it every time. It means a lot. So take care and stay safe. What's up, what's up? It's your boy Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and I wanted to show you how I made these Octoberfest sausages that I picked up at my local farmer's market. This was such a delicious meal. I can't wait to share this simple recipe with you for you to try at home. So make sure you like and subscribe, join my ever-growing community, and come along for this ride. I went to my local farmer's market in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I went to Beck Farms and picked up these Octoberfest sausages. They looked fantastic. So I decided to slice up some tomatoes. I also sliced up a jalapeno pepper or two, a red onion. There's also garlic that we're going to slice up. Now I threw all these veggies into a bowl and seasoned them up with some chili lime sea salt from the South Shore Sea Salt Company. The perfect way to just accent these veggies. Ooh, I love this ingredient. Perfect example of Nova Scotia deliciousness. So again, threw it right on top of those veggies, mix them up, then those veggies are going to go in with the Octoberfest sausages into my frying pan. Now my frying pan is by The Rock, Heritage The Rock, and this frying pan is really reliable. It's really good for just spreading out heat. So like you see here, I put just a dash of oil in the bottom. I threw in the Octoberfest sausages along with all those veggies, and I'm going to check them every few minutes. I'm leaving the lid on so they kind of like steam and cook in their own steam. I don't want that humidity to get out of there. I want the humidity to stay in there and really trap in and cook these sausages thoroughly. And again, we're going to be moving these around regularly. That's definitely a repeated theme here. So after a few minutes, we go in with a stick of butter, but just a small piece, not an actual entire stick, but just enough to kind of add a little bit of butter onto those veggies, a little bit onto the sausages, and cook them just a little bit extra. We want that butter to melt down, spread over all the ingredients in there, and distribute correctly. Then we're going to go in with a little bit of extra water. This is going to help build that steam in there and really make sure those sausages get cooked through. This is just a fantastic way as well to make sure your sausages aren't burning up. By adding that extra liquid in there, a lot more moisture gets added to the pan, and you don't really have to worry about burning or anything like that. So we want to cook this down as well. Once the water's kind of steamed off, we're going to go in there with some delicious barbecue sauce. Now today I'm using Earl's Signature Sauce's Carolina Barbecue. Oh, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend, if you're in Nova Scotia, you check out all these ingredients. Beck Farms, Earl's Signature Sauces, South Shore Sea Salt Company. Oh, just a 10 out of 10. So then I went over to Sobeys and I picked up some hot dog buns along with some Tex-Mex cheese. And you can see here I toasted these buns just a little bit with the cheese in there so it's nice and melted. Then we're going to slot those Octoberfest sausages right into those buns. Simple, not complicated. Then we go ahead and just take that barbecue kind of like veggie topping that we've been creating and cooking down, and we're just going to spread it all over the top of each of these Octoberfest sausages. Just look at this. This is absolute magic. And how simple was this? It was all just in the same frying pan. Oh, just cooked down. So basic, so easy. I love recipes like this. And this was the final result. Just look at this plate of Octoberfest sausages with that delicious veggie dressing on top. You know, just pounding these back with a beer or just a nice soda pop, right? Something simple. Oh, I love that. And maybe throw some chips on the plate as well. Ooh, you know me, I'm Canadian. Some all-dressed chips or some ketchup chips. You could throw some salt and vinegar chips my way as well. I'd be pretty thrilled about that. But this is a recipe I highly recommend you try. It's so simple. It's so easy.
And I just know you're going to love it. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, join my ever-growing community of home cooks, and thanks again for watching. Take care and stay safe. Have a great day. What's up, what's up? It's Saucy Rossy, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue, and I tried something new. I smoked a tri-tip, and then I bought some wontons and made tri-tip stuffed wontons. I made this delicious chili garlic hot honey dressing for them as well. So this is the entire process. Come on along for the ride. Like I said, I picked up a pack of wontons. Now, I made some smaller size wontons, and they just weren't the best. Let's start there. I'm not sure what to say. They were too small for me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I bought too small of wrappers, but I'm just learning. This is literally my first time ever buying wontons. So what I did was I used an old trick I remembered from high school, and I attached 3 of them together. So by doing this, it just kind of extended out, you know, the wonton wrapper, and I was able to stuff it with the tri-tip like you saw there. There was also garlic and red onion that I diced up and put in there as well. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, I just kind of rolled it up, you know, like I said, using some old techniques I remembered from my high school days. And then I did my best to seal up both ends of the wrapper. Now, if you're wondering, I'm using water, like to seal and stick the wonton together. All you have to do is just have a little bowl of water over on the side. You can dip your finger in it, run it along the seam, and that's all you really need to do. So I've prepared these 6 wontons up, and I'm just shallow frying them. It's really, really simple. You just need to continuously kind of rotate them every 30 seconds or so. Now, I don't know, it only took a couple minutes really to cook these. It's not that difficult. Where the tri-tip was already smoked, we're just kind of reheating it in the oil with the wonton. And like I said, I made this delicious little dressing using Halifax Hot Honey's chili garlic oil along with their stinging hot honey red lava edition. Now I mixed them in equal parts and just kind of stirred it all together. I'm really into kind of heat, you know, really high temperature flavors, and I really enjoy their products. Like I said, they're the Halifax Honey Company if you're interested. And yeah, so here's my first little flip. And as you can see, these are frying up perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted to see. And, you know, I kind of did the same for every single side. You kind of have to do it in like 3 or 4 side rotations here to make sure everything properly cooks. But it's not difficult. Just, you know, lean them against each other if you need to kind of like stir them up and posture them. But what's just important here is you're paying attention and you don't let them burn. These don't take long to cook. And as they kind of finish up cooking, it comes real quick. So make sure you're ready with a plate. I also had some paper towel on the plate. That was just to kind of drain off any excess oil that might have been on there. But yeah, real easy to fry these up. And I'm really interested on like figuring out what else I can throw into a wonton, because this was just absolutely so simple. Actually, now that I think about it, if you have any suggestions on what I should put into a wonton, please let me know in the comments below. As well, make sure you're liked and subscribed. I'm always suggesting people join my ever-growing community of home cooks. I'm putting out new recipes weekly, usually more than one. And yeah, and if you ever have any suggestions of what you'd like to see or any tips for my cooking strategies, please just let me know. I always want to gain knowledge and become a better home cook. So like I said, these have just been frying away. Nothing special here. You know, we're just making sure they're not burning on any specific side. Now that they're cooked fully on all sides, we're going to pull them off onto that plate with the paper towel, like I said. And again, be gentle. This is hot oil. You really want to make sure you're not, you know, going to burn yourself or let it splash up anywhere. That can be dangerous and you don't want to get hurt. And, you know, in a second here, you'll actually see those small wontons that I mentioned a little bit earlier, right there on the left. Those were just tiny bite size, and it wasn't enough for me. Yeah, one of these, but they still were delicious. Don't take it the wrong way. Oh yeah, listen to that. Isn't that great? Don't take it the wrong way. I just prefer the larger wonton roll. So there it is, split open. You can see that delicious smoked tri-tip. You can see that little bit of like pink smoke ring on a couple of those pieces in there, the little pieces of red onion and garlic as well. Let's go in with some of that chili oil, hot honey
mixture. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely delicious. Oh, I highly suggest if you've never cooked with wontons, you try it out. This was so simple and it's opened my repertoire now. I have more ways to cook things, so that's a win. Thanks again for watching and make sure you like and subscribe. Take care and stay safe.